morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsyreplays, and today we're going to be looking at a few changes that are coming in update 6.1. Now, this update, it doesn't seem anything special, to be honest. There's a couple of buffs, a few nerfs, and a few game changes in the game to some of the tanks and how they look, etc. So we're just going to get onto this. It's not going to be a long video because, to be honest, there isn't much changes really at all, unless it's an autoloader, as we're going to look at now. So first up, we're going to look at the changes of the Tier 8 American medium tank, the T69. So on the 90mm gun, which is the Tier 8 gun, the rate of fire has increased, so it's got a nice buff there. It's gone from 8.85 to 9.77. The magazine reload has dropped from 15.34 seconds to 13.42, so almost 2 seconds off the T69, which is a good buff. That's a good buff. DPM on your AP has gone to 2,198. Your heat 1856, and your DPM on your HE 2638. So a nice little buff there for the T69. Moving on is the Tier 9 version, is the T54E1. Now the Tier 8 gun on this, not the Tier 9. We're going to look at the Tier 8 gun, which is the 90mm. The DPM on that has had a massive buff. It's gone from 1820 DPM to 2364. The burst damage has gone from 675 to 900. That's on your AP. On your heat, DPM 1537 to 1996, and your burst damage is 760 from 570. And your HE, your DPM's gone to 2837, and again your burst damage has gone over 200, and that's 1080. The rate of fire as also, where are we? So 8.09 to 10.51, and your magazine reload time is 17.26, and that's gone to 15.34. And the reason why you get more burst damage is because you now have 4 shells instead of 3. But remember, that is on the Tier 8 gun. Moving on to the Tier 9 gun, it's got a slight dispersion buff from 0.364 to 0.336, and when rotating turret, 0.160 to 0.100. So a little change there on the Tier 9 gun, but the big change is for that Tier 8 gun. So moving on, we have the Tier 8 American medium, the premium tank, the T95E2, and that's just got a HP buff, an extra 100 HP buff from 1350 to 1450. Next up, we have the Tier 10 T57, and this is already a good tank. I do not know why this has been buffed. It's already got an intro clip of 2.5 seconds, which, for me, this tank does not need a buff. But the rate of fire has gone from 6.65 to 7.16. Magazine reload time is now 20 seconds instead of 22, so 2 seconds off your magazine reload. And that gives you a DPM on your AP, 2865. So an extra 200 DPM really on the T57 Heavy. Moving on, SU-130, the Tier 8 Russian tank destroyer. The penetration on the first AP, it's gone from 230 to 245. And don't forget, that's the one with the higher penetration but less damage. And your next AP is gone from 195 to 215, which is a good buff. That's a good buff because that one is the one that does more damage. So, with less pen. Moving on, Panther M10, the base aim time has gone from 2.21 to 1.82. and the dispersion 0.336 to 0.307. So a little buff there for the Panther M10. I would have liked to have seen a penetration buff, because it does feel kind of weak, the Panther M10. The Panther 8.8, which is the T8 German premium. Engine power has gone to 765, and just a few changes there on the terrain. Not much really. Conway. Now the Conway, we're going to have a look at the 120mm. So the 120mm, the traverse speed has suffered. It really has suffered, and I'm surprised they've nerfed it so quickly. On hard terrain, it's gone from 27.68 to 18.05, medium 23 to 15, and on soft 19 to 12. That's a big difference. That is a big difference. On your 5.5, it's gone again. Your traverse is 28 to 18, 23 to 15, and 19 to 12. That really is a nerf for the Conway. Type 61 is the Tier 9 Japanese tank. Has a nice buff. A rate of fire has gone from 6.80 to 7.63. Reload time has gone down to 7.86, so just over 1 second reload buff there. Dispersion is again a slight buff to 0.336. And DPM wise, it gives you an extra nearly 290 DPM, which is a shot, another shot per minute, which is not bad for the Type 61. The French T8 Heavy, the AMX50-100 on the 100mm SA47. Aim time is 2.88 to 2.40. And a little dispersion buff for that as well, 0.336, and when rotating turret is 0.120. So a small buff there for the AMX50-120. So the AMX50, the AMX50-100 that was. So now the AMX50-120 on the T8 gun, which is the 100mm. Again, the dispersion, a slight buff to the dispersion on that, 0.345. And on the Tier 10, the 120mm, the rate of fire from 5.58 to 5.94. Magazine reload, again, a nice 2-second buff on that. And that gives it around almost 100, or just over 100, sorry, DPM extra on that tank. And just like the T57, the AMX50B has a buff as well. The rate of fire is 6.57 and it's gone to 7.07. And the magazine reload, another 2 seconds taken off. So they've just taken 2 seconds off the top. Okay, it gives it an extra 200 DPM. And that is pretty much all of the buffs. I'm going to now show you just a few changes in game with the fire and tanks, etc. But before I do want to thank Blitzhanger. This is all from Blitzhanger, and also Blitz Post, because this is where I got the information from and the pictures that you are about to see. So with all the auto loaders, you can see just at the side of the turret, it's changed the shell where it shows it's the shell. The 3 shells are empty, and you can just see there. I think they're bringing this in maybe for the Italian new auto loading mechanism. I'm not 100% sure, but also what they've added is dead tanks will have fire and smoke coming from them. That just looks pretty cool, to be honest. And to be honest, that is about it. As said, I do thank Blitzhanger and Blitz Post. One final thing before I go, there is no changes to the Charioteer, none at all. It remains the same. So maybe in 6.2 it will be nerfed because it needs the nerf. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon.